What's up guys, this is Casey Underhill and this is part 2 of the Japanese Den tutorial. We're going to be doing a lot of appending of files in here, a lot of models and things that I've included in the pack available at my website, CaseyUnderhill.com. That's CaseyUnderhill.com. If you want to follow along with this tutorial, that pack is available. It has all of the textures and all of the models that I'm going to be using today. They're completely free to use models and textures. You can use them however you like, wherever you like, whatever models and pictures, whatever you want to do. The only thing I'm asking for is $5, just to, you know, help support what I do, to make more texture files, more models, that sort of thing. If you guys like these tutorials, then let me know and I'll keep making some more of them. Anyways, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to move the ceiling to a separate layer, and I want to start appending things in here. So we're going to start out, let's go File, Append. Give it a second here, my computer's a tad slow. Okay, let's start out with the sofa. And you want to click on Group. I've created a group for all of these. It's going to be called Couch. And you can see it's awfully big and it's rotated. So let's just rotate that back around here. Put it somewhere about in the center. Scale it down. If you have to go into wireframe mode, you might have to do that. Make sure you line it up about right. And always make sure that you check your camera. Now, for the sofa, what I want to do is I want this corner over here. Hold on. I forgot to turn on my screencast keys. There you go. Okay, anyways, you want your sofa, this edge to be somewhere over here, so that sofa's a little too big. Shrink it down about there, and then we're going to move it over and back. And that's just about perfect. Now, you might have to move it up and down on the Z-axis as well. That's fine. Go ahead and do that. Make sure it still looks okay. Alright, we are in business on the sofa. So the sofa is finished. Let's go ahead and append our next file. This time I think we're going to add in the coffee table. Again, click on Group and Coffee Table. This one pops down below for some reason. Okay, let's scale that way down. And I want this to be about in the middle here of the sofa. And let's check and see its height. Bring it down just a little bit here. Okay, let's check from the camera view. Alright, that looks really good. The textures for all of these, the materials I mean, are already set up. They're already done. You don't really need to mess with them. Of course, if you want to, or if you decided to use your own textures or your own models or anything like that, you can always do that. Let's go ahead and append our next file. This time we're going to do the end table. Again, go to Group and click End Table. This one is, where's it at? Where'd it go? Oh, that's way back there. Okay. Let's drag that back in here, drag it up, scale it down. Oops. Turn on wireframe so I can see what I'm doing here. Sorry about that. Okay. I just want to position this up kind of against the wall. And I'll show you the positioning for it exactly here in a second. Let me make sure I got this about the size I'm looking for. Yeah, that's about right. So when we're looking at the end table, what we want, it's not really an end table, it's more like a TV stand or media center or something. I don't know how to explain it, but you want the edge to basically line up with that first stair. So just make sure it's up against the wall, lined up against the stair. If you want to scale it up or down, you always can do that as well. It might be a tad big. I might have to scale it down, but we'll see. I want to get the TV in here first, so let's do that. File, Append, and let's go to the television. Again, click on Group and Television. Let's drag this into the scene. And let's go ahead and scale that down. Okay, yeah, the end table is definitely too big. So let's scale it down, drag it back onto the X just a little bit here. Still might be too big. So let's grab it. Okay, now we're looking about center, so now we can scale it up a bit. And again, make sure you've got it against the floor. Always double check your Z coordinate. The TV, actually the TV looks like it's about right. Let me double check my camera view. Okay, now for this one I want to turn on my materials. Excuse me. This is going to take a couple seconds here. I'm running on kind of a crappy computer. But you want to turn on your materials because we do have that kanji, Japanese kanji on the wall back here. We want to make sure that it doesn't get hidden or overrun by our TV. And if it does, we can either change the kanji on the wall or we can change the television. Nope. It looks like it turned out perfectly. So if for some reason the TV was over the top of your kanji, make sure that you scale your TV down a little bit more or move it out of the way a little bit more. Whatever you want to do. You can even go in and scale the texture file down for the kanji itself if you wanted to make a bigger TV and a smaller kanji. It's completely up to you. Let's go ahead and go back to solid view and let's append our next file. I think this time we're going to go with the Japanese lamp. Click on group and you'll see that there's a pillow group in here. Just ignore that. Blender has like a weird issue with deleting groups, and as far as I know they just haven't been able to solve it yet. So when I created the group I already had the pillow group in there. It just didn't want to go away no matter how many times I save it and quit and all the things that they suggest to do. Just doesn't work. So just ignore it, pretend like it doesn't exist. If you open up one of the group files and it says pillow and you're like, I don't think a pillow is supposed to be in there, well, probably not. It's best just to ignore it. If you click on it, I don't even think it appends anything. But anyways, here we go. We have the lamp set up. We want that basically on that first step here. You can put it up on the floor if you want to, like right next to the bookcase when we get the bookcase in here. I like it down here on the floor better, on the stair. There is an important thing that we have to do with the lamp. I've included a bulb inside the lamp just in case you wanted to use this in another scene and you wanted the scene to be dark or you wanted the light to be on. I've included that in here, but we don't need that for this scene, so we're just going to click minus on the material, and it's just white, has an emission, kind of brownish emission shader. We're just going to click minus and get rid of it. Okay, so next let's append another file. We're going to go into, let's do the Japanese table. Again, click group, ignore the pillow, click on table. Sorry guys, my voice is giving out on me today. Let's go, oops, wrong way. For the table, we want it basically to be centered by the fireplace. That looks about right. Now we want to scale that down quite a bit because it's pretty big right now. Drag that up just a bit and drag it out a bit. Somewhere about right in there I think looks good. So next we can append another file. This time we're going to append the pillows, and this time when you click group you will see pillow and you don't have to ignore it. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the pillows. Oops, hold on, there we go. And make sure that you get this first pillow the exact right size that you're looking for, because we're going to be duplicating it in the future. Or actually, probably not in the future. We're going to duplicate it like right now, as soon as I get it finished. Let's go about there. Try to make it not clip into your ground as much as possible. And I think we're good. So let's go ahead and Shift D to duplicate it. Just rotate it a little bit. Shift D, duplicate again, rotate it around, Shift D, rotate, and check your camera view, make sure that you can get a little bit of a peek of this pillow. You might not be able to see that last pillow, but I still like to have it there. Now we're going to duplicate it some more. Let's duplicate it and put it on top of our couch over here. And I like these pillows to be just a tad bit smaller than the pillows on the floor. I'm going to actually hide my wall for the time being, so let's move that to the layer 2. And we want to make sure that it's actually on the couch, right about there. Make sure you can see it. Okay. Now I'm going to add some more pillows. It's completely up to you if you want to add more or not. You don't have to. You can if you want to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate them and just kind of set them up against the arm of the couch. Now you can see it's clipping through the couch, and that's really not a huge deal because you can't see it from this side. You can't see it from the camera angle. So I'm really not worried about it too much. And if you want to make it clip a lot more, that's what I'm going to actually do. Okay. I'm going to Shift D to duplicate it some more. And every time I duplicate it, I just want to rotate it. Just gives it like a variation, like somebody just tossed the pillows on there. Shift D again. Stupid Adobe won't go away. Okay, so let's pull this one towards the couch a little bit more. Let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a rotate. And let's go one more cushion here. Pull it out. Oh, pull it out just a bit. And rotate it back. And let's rotate it right about there. Alright. So I don't want to go into the materials of the pillows too much. Sorry guys, I can't keep my voice today. Hold on just a second, guys. Alright, sorry about that. We're going to go into the pillows here, and we're going to change a couple of their materials that they have, and I'll show you exactly how. Like this pillow here, I want to keep that one the red color that I have the cushions at, but I think 3 of these pillows need to be white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click one of them. I'm going to click the little number next to the material up here. That's going to make it a brand new material for the pillow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I want to make this completely white to start with. And then I'm just going to lower the darkness of it. Something like that. So you're getting just kind of an off, kind of a light gray color. For the bottom color, you're going to want to go completely white. And leave it right about there. If you want to name this something more interesting than Pillow 003, you can. I'm not going to bother with it. And then you just want to change the other pillows that you want to be white to that new pillow texture. So here's Pillow 3 right there. Okay. So let's see what else we have we can append here. Let's see, we did the television, sofa, pillow, table, lamp, end table, coffee table. We have the art. Let's do the art, I guess, real quick. We can do that. Group, ignore the pillow, click art. Really wish those would go away. We're going to need our wall back for this one, so I'm going to go ahead and move that back to my first layer. And here's my art. Oops. My X and Y are like mixed up, so I'm getting confused here when I try to translate. Let's try to center it over the fireplace as much as possible. Right about there, I think. Scale it down. Scale it down a little bit more. And this is another special one that we're going to have to mess with here. Make sure it's up against your fireplace though. It's close, not quite. There we go. Okay, so you can see I have a material.001 over here, and it is purplish, pink, whatever color you want to call that. That is because it's waiting for an image inside the picture frame. There's actually no picture in this art frame right now. It's just a frame, and it's just got the material set up for the picture. I have not included the picture in the tutorial because I found it on Google. I didn't make it myself. It's just some Japanese kanji that I decided to put in the picture frame. If you want to go out and search for your own picture, I'm going to show you here how you can pop it into your scene without too much problems, and this you could reuse this picture frame over again in other models if you wanted to. You could just put whatever you want in here. This is called Keitenaijin Tate. And there it is. You can see I've got it set up in there already. I'm going to actually go to my solid view here. It's causing me to lag a little bit. Go back to my default. And alright, that one's all set up. So now we come to the harder part. We're going to have to append the bookcase. So click there, click group, bookcase. Now the bookcase itself is not difficult to append in, but the books are going to be kind of a chore. And I will show you why when we get to them. Let's see. Let's drag this in. Drag it against the wall. Grab it on the X. And double check. Okay. I actually think I might want it a little bit bigger. Right about right there. Okay, let's make sure that that's not floating off my ground or anything here. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to actually right click on that bookcase and I want to move it to layer 3. You can move it to layer 2. I just move it to 3 because I have my ceiling on layer 2. What we're going to want to do is we're going to have to file, append, and go to books.blend. Click on group and click books. And there we have our large selection of books. So if you select all those, let's go ahead and rotate them. Actually, I'm going to rotate them by 90, negative 90. And I want to just line this up with about the first shelf here. See where I'm at. About there. Okay. So from this point on, all we're going to do is basically just populate the bookshelf with these books and try to make it look as random as possible. So Shift D, if you right click on a book and then Shift D, that will duplicate one of the books so you don't lose that book. And I think it's the Y. Here we go. Just slide the book right in there. You can grab whatever book you want. This is kind of a boring part, but if you want it done correctly and you want it to look good, this is a part that you cannot skip. And I forgot to Shift D on that one. That's okay, because there's a little trick that I learned to populating these. I will show you that trick here as soon as I finish a shelf. For the first shelf, I like to use just about every book that I have. And it's kind of important that you do so because it makes the rest of your populating of the bookshelf a lot easier. So you just want to drag them in here. This is a really boring part, guys. I'm sorry, but this is just what you have to do to populate a bookshelf. If you're bored, you can turn this off and listen to some music or something. Or if you like hearing the soothing sound of my voice. Just want to fill this first shelf a lot. I want to get as many books in here as I can. since this bookshelf is fairly ordinary, now that we have a bookshelf populated, what I can do is I can actually go through and select a couple of these books, and I'm gonna go straight on front view, probably go to, yeah, let's go to that wireframe mode. You can Shift D and just pull it up here. Pull it up here. Let's see if that's even an open one. Some of these are actually like cupboard drawers that are closed. Excuse me. Let's go Z here. Now we don't want to make this too repetitive, so let's go down and select a couple of other books that we have. Grab that one, that one. And go back to our Z again. Shift D and place it right in here. And we want this open space here to have some books. Make sure it's an open space before I throw it in there. Put this one here. And now basically all we're going to do is we're just going to click and duplicate. You just want to grab whatever books you got. It's okay if some of them repeat. It's okay if they're not perfect. We're just trying to kind of fill up the bookshelf, make it look interesting. What is that book? Oh. Okay. I've been grabbing stuff in the wrong direction here. Go ahead and slide these in here. Now slide these in here. Oops, actually no. Just slide this one in. For this one, I will drag. Let's go right here. And then drag it on the Y in. Let's grab the orange book here. How many more open spots do I have? I have one here. Got one here. So let's do like some books laying on their side. So let's Shift D, put them in here. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate those down. Rotate a little bit more. There we go. Yeah. Now drag this down on the Z a little bit. Grab them both on the Y. And then I'm just gonna, whoops, go to my top view here. No, don't delete. Grab it on the Y. Right like that. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So let's see what else we got here. Let's grab this book. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and move these books out of my way. Okay, there we go. So let's grab this one, put it in here. Grab this one in here. Nope, there's a book there already. That's kind of why I like to use my wireframe mode, because it's easier to see where the books are at. Now, not every shelf has to be filled completely with books. You don't have to overpopulate it. You just kind of want the bookshelf to look like it's been used. Let's Shift D here. Pull it up. This is a really boring part, guys. Seriously, if you want to skip this part, skip ahead, forget about the bookcase, I do not blame you. I'm gonna go ahead and just lay these books down on top of each other here. Something like that. I think I'm gonna do the same over here. Go ahead and lay that down. Actually, I'm gonna make these ones have like a domino effect over here. Somebody bumped up against the bookshelf or something. Yeah. And let's see, let's try to grab these two. Okay. I'm gonna actually pull this up right about there. Rotate those back around. Stick them out just a bit. Okay, so that looks fairly good. Let me fill one more shelf at the top here. Let me go with the red and the blue. Duplicate that. Rotate it down. Pull these up here. Okay. On the Z, grab both of those, pull it into the shelf, to the side, and we'll just rotate them a little bit. Nope. Oops. Let's keep those kind of uniform, I guess. Looks too repetitive if I do it that way. So this shelf here kind of looks empty. It looks like there's too much space. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it with a couple more books. Get some bookies in here. Books. I hate reading. I don't know why I even bother with bookshelves in these things. Go ahead and grab that. Okay, so it looks like we are fairly populated. If you want to finish the rest of the shelves, you can. If you didn't put as many in there as I did, then that's perfectly fine. Now you just want to select all these excess books that you have and delete them. So now make sure that you're in front view so that you can hit B and box select the whole thing. We're just going to hit M1. It'll move it to layer 1. And there we have our bookshelf. So we have two more things to append. We have the vase. Actually, it's just a vase twice. So let's go back in here. Get the vase twigs group, vase twig. And we want one of these vases right on the table. Scale it way down here. Plop that right on the table. Actually, scale it up just a bit. And we're going to shift D and put one right over here by the bookcase. A little bit less. Grab that on the Z, make sure it's on the floor. And it looks like everything is all set. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this a good render. This is pretty much going to be our final render. If you moved all of your ceiling things like I did, make sure you move those back. This is basically going to be our final render, and then we're going to move on to some compositing for it, where we're going to change a little bit of the colors and yada yada yada. Anyways, I'm going to stop my recording here so I can give it a render. Alright, so this is not my final render. I have rendered this at, I think, 300 samples, yep. Obviously there's a lot of fireflies, things like that, but I just wanted to get a basic preview of it so that I could go into the compositor, do some compositing work, and then I will do a final render at the end. One thing I did do is I saw that the fireplace was kind of high, so I lowered that down. I re-centered my art frame up here, and these vases are really small, so I made them just a tad bit bigger. You may not have had that problem. If you do, you can always go back and fix it. Aside from that, everything else looks pretty good. I think for some reason my lighting looks like it is just not quite enough, so I might bump that up to let's try it at 20. We'll see how that works in my final render. But everything else looks really good, so I'm going to go ahead and conclude this part of the tutorial. And the next part, we'll be going over the compositor and how to make it a little bit brighter and how to change a little bit of the coloring inside of here. So thank you guys for watching, and come back for the next part.